welcome to JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Rich's Boxing and Limitless Creations. And with me now, Mauricio Sulaiman. How you doing, Mauricio?
Fine, fine. I'm very happy to see you, Joel, and it's my pleasure to be in your program.
Honestly, the pleasure's all mine. I know it's been a long time coming, but you're a busy man. There's lots going on with the WBC.
Well, it's been a very complicated year in all sorts of and topics. You know, on top of the COVID-19, the problematic that it all creates with the different protocols and travel restrictions and complications, there have been a few very complicated matters with fights falling through COVID infection, then spends with the eye, with the retina, and there's so many things that we have to handle, but we're moving forward. It's a great year for the sport, and we're very enthusiastic and hopeful to have a great second part of the year.
Yeah, no, definitely. And as you say, I don't think you were the only one that was gutted with Errol Spence's eye. I think there was a lot of people ready and raring to see that fight, wasn't there?
Yes, that was a long-awaited fight, a chance for Spence to prove his worth and Manny Pacquiao to try to continue his unbelievable legacy. And it just didn't happen, but we're here and we will see what is up next.
Do you think that this is the end of Manny Pacquiao, or do you think there's still some fights left in him?
It is very difficult and very unfair to judge Manny Pacquiao by that fight. Yeah, he had been out of the ring for 2 years, and then 10 days before the fight, the opponent is changed. So it is hard to tell. He didn't look the same. He didn't look the tough Manny Pacquiao that we always see, but that could be for various reasons. He deserves a much better farewell. If he decides never to fight again, he will be always remembered as one of the greatest. If he decides to fight again, people will understand as well. But he's got greater things. He's trying to be the president of Philippines. He's a tremendous representative of the sport of boxing and the world. So whatever he decides, we will fully support him, and we will always remember him as a great champion. Yeah,
well, there's not many times you can use the word legend, is there? But he definitely is one.
He is a legend, from flyweight to super welterweight, in so many different decades, against so many great legendary champions. So he is one of those very few fighters that create a complete era. And I still believe he can beat anyone right now, and whatever he decides, we will see.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's not the last one, as I'm a massive Manny Pacquiao fan. I know there's some people that are saying they just want to, have him remembered now as that top fighter that he was. But the thing is, you write him off, he comes back, doesn't he? The Keith Thurman fight, that said it all for me.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great example on how he defeated time. He defeated everything against all odds, and he came back and just did it. But at this time, it was very different circumstances.
So, Mauricio, we're looking forward now. What's the next sort of big fights on the schedule that you can get people excited for?
Well, we have September 18. There's a good unification with Brandon Figueroa and Fulton. Then October 9th, the big Fury Wilder third fight. November 6th, Canelo against Scala Plant. Some female fights. There's a good schedule for the remaining of the year, and of course, the many great fights that can happen in the future.
Yeah. It's the Canelo Plant fight. Has it been signed and sealed? Is it ready to go?
That's what I believe. They announced it, and they say it's November 6th. So they both announced it on media, and I believe it is completely sealed and ready for November 6th.
Are you a man that has to keep quiet when it comes to predictions with fights, or do you look at that one and think Canelo could be in trouble?
You know, I never make predictions. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in the ring, and both fighters deserve the great respect. Of course, Plant is a very worthy fighter, opponent for Canelo. They're fighting for the undisputed, for the 4 belts, and it should be a sensational event.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have turned around and said that Caleb Plant could be the man. You know, a lot of people have said that the whole time. They've looked at a lot of the other fights, sort of Billy Joe Saunders, sort of Callum Smith. You know, if we just look at those, and Yieldrum, that they just weren't going to be that level. But a lot of people have looked at Caleb as that potential person that could be a banana skin.
Yeah, he's a strong super middleweight. He's got experience, and he's got hunger. He wants what Canelo has. So it shall be a sensational event.
Yeah, no, I said to you before we came on, we'd pop over to Twitter quickly. We've had a tweet from a guy called Mighty Max Boxing. He said, if the franchise champion doesn't have to fight mandatories, why did Canelo have to fight Yieldrum?
Because Canelo decided to go on the super middleweight route, and he fought Callum Smith for the WBC vacant super middleweight title. He did not use the franchise designation in the super middleweight division. He decided he wanted to unify all the belts in that division. For Canelo to fight Smith, he had to reach an agreement with Yieldrum, who was the mandatory from happenings of the fight between Yieldrum and Dirrell. So it's a long story, but to make it short, Canelo decided to fight for the world title, the WBC super middleweight, and he decided to carry on the path to beat all the champions in the division. So Yieldrum was in the way in a legal position, so he decided to make the mandatory and then move on to unify all the other belts.
No, that's fair enough. You know, it's a question that a lot of people ask, because I think, especially when you look at the emphatic style that Canelo got him out of there, I think the ring walk went on longer than the fight.
Well, it was a beautiful ring walk, and Mike Tyson knocked out so many fighters in one round. We have seen great fights go just a few rounds. Hagler-Hearns was only 3 rounds.
Yeah.
So it is Canelo's best moment. He is the tremendous power moving the sport forward, and he's in the best shape of his life, and he's on the peak of his career.
Yeah, no, definitely. And as I say, there's a lot of people out there that think Canelo won't be beaten now unless he continues to go up the weight divisions until he kind of meets someone that he's kind of well out of his depth weight-wise.
Yeah, he wants to continuously make history, and so he's very ambitious. And of course, there are limits in life for everyone, but we still don't know which one will be Canelo's limit. We will see. Maybe it's November 6th with Caleb Plant.
Well, I love how you never want to give a prediction at all. You stay well away, don't you? Yeah, I suppose the next big question that people have been talking about is Dillian Whyte. Now, you know, there's a big stir in the UK. Obviously, whoever Dillian's gone against, he's never shied away, has he, from a fight? And he's always seemed to have got the result. You know, difficult fight against Pacquiao, but came back to get the win. Where's he sitting now in regards to that title shot he's been sort of craving?
Well, Dillian Whyte is a tremendous fighter, a sensational fighter, and he's the WBC interim heavyweight champion. He has that title. He has that benefit. At this moment, we're waiting for the October 9th fight, and we're dealing with some situations, so I cannot really comment very much on the Dillian Whyte case. But he's my personal friend. I have great respect for him. I am sorry that he lost to Povetkin last year, and he came back and he avenged that tremendous knockout defeat, but he came back and knocked out Povetkin. But I wish him the best, and I hope that he gets the due recognition in as soon as possible.
Who would you like to see Dillian fight, Mauricio?
You know, I cannot really, I'm not a promoter. The WBC is not a promoter. So we just have to administer the division. He's the WBC interim champion. And there are so many great fights to be made in the heavyweight scenario. You have Fury, Wilder, Joshua, Whyte, Ortiz. You have Ruiz, Dubois, all these upcoming fighters that are Joyce. And I mean, there's tremendous talent, many great fights to be made. And we are hopeful that they just happen in the ring. That's what we want to see. Yeah,
no, definitely. I know it's something, you know, a lot of the fans, especially the UK fans, are kind of desperate to see him get his shot, because every kind of hurdle that's been put in the way, he's kind of jumped over high, hasn't he? And got on to the next. So hopefully he'll get his opportunity soon. I know it's been a long time coming for him, hasn't it?
Yeah, he has had very bad luck. When he defeated Rivas, he had that UCAD situation, which took so long time, maybe 6 months away. Then he had the loss to Povetkin. So he's had to run into difficulties, but he's a champion, he's a fighter, and I'm sure he will be continue the career, and I'm sure he will have a bright future.
No, definitely. And as I say, we've got a couple more. We've had Ari Boxing Talk. He's put, have you considered following the footsteps of the WBA and looking at sort of moving the franchise, gold, diamond, interim titles, etc., sort of moving them on?
That's a ridiculous question from someone who is not fully aware of boxing. The WBC does not have interim champions in all weight categories, does not have all those different. So I'd rather not answer this question. We have one champion per division. There is a provision for interim champions for special circumstances. The franchise designation is a total different concept. So we don't have all those. It's a matter that you cannot compare. I respect every question and I respect every organization. They can do whatever they want. I am happy that the WBA has taken this path for clarity and for administration purposes. The fans want to see one champion, not only in one organization, but the whole division. So we have been very active supporting unification bouts. We have Josh Taylor as the sole champion. Teofimo Lopez is the champion in the lightweight division. So I will not entertain that, because we didn't do that. We didn't go that path. We have been very straightforward. We are doing our administration of the WBC championship, and it's a completely different comparison.
No, that's fine. I thought I'd put it out there. It's a question that came through.
Every question is welcome, and I'll be happy to answer. But
one of my friends, Cole, he's come out with and said, is the WBC workout still happening?
Yes. Every day I do my daily walk.
I see you walking everywhere.
And we have the WBC workout. It was created during the pandemic to invite champions to motivate others to keep active, to stay home, but still be active and not just go to the television and eat the refrigerator. It was a good moment to keep activity with family and friends via technology. And but still we do it, and we have ambassadors that go out and try to motivate others to work out.
Yeah, no, definitely. And as I say, I think it's incredible, especially during that time. You know, so many people were struggling with mental health, fitness, and all different things. You know, the loss of loved ones. So to have something that they could focus on and they could get involved with, I think is very important, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know, it is not over. Mental health for every individual in the whole world is a challenge that we have to face every single day. From those who lost and still are losing loved ones, for those who have lost their job, for those who have been in a room for so long, and it's so hard to go back to the reality and go back to the office or go back to work. There's so many difficulties that homeschooling have brought to parents. For the kids, there's so many complications of going to school into a computer or an iPad for long hours without being able to see their friends. It's been a very challenging time for humanity. We all struggle. There's no one who has not felt the complications of this pandemic in any way or the other. And what we just try to do is to be positive, provide ways of people to be entertained, to be active, to keep in touch, even if it's by virtual communication. But we will get through it. We'll make it, and we'll go on and be champions.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing we can take from this, isn't it? Is the fact that it has brought the world together. It has brought people together in different ways as well. You know, that everyone is going through this and going through difficult times at the moment. And yeah, I think, you know, anything, you know, I was speaking to Vinny Paz the other week. I know someone you know very well. And he was saying, you know, the charity work and the work that WBC does do is, you know, is incredible. And he just wanted to send his hello as always. And yeah, just to continue the good work that you are doing at that end.
That's very nice. Paz is a sensational friend. And, you know, it's been tough. During the pandemic, there was extreme need from many members of the boxing community, even for food, even for the least, that it's unimaginable what $100, 100 pounds can do for a family in some of the countries like Mexico, Nicaragua, and a few others. We were very busy and very happy and very blessed to have been able to together be supportive of many families differently.
No, as I say, it's you know, it's incredible what you've been doing, and you know, I've had another message from someone who's been speaking about the Ringside Charitable Trust, and there's been a young girl. I just think to highlight to you some of the stuff she's been doing, just quickly. Her name is Sophie Gallagher, a passionate boxing fan who is courageously battering the effects of autoimmune disease. Sophie decided to walk the equivalent of 162 miles from her home in to the Spinnaker Tower. In the end, in several all-weather walks, she travelled 307 miles to raise money. Yeah, for all different charities. I think that's been donated already. Incredible, isn't it?
It's incredible. Those stories that reach out and move the world are the ones that are worth. You know, we are so comfortable, we're so blessed we have everything, and we're still are angry and are bitter when there's so many out there that wish they could one day walk, or one day see or hear, or have a be able to go to bed without that struggle and that burden. And we are so lucky, so many, and still find a way to be unhappy. That's a really problem in the world. But I really respect and admire and love those who reach out and make us understand the beauty of life. And we will always be part of the support of any case that comes out, because there's so many looking for just a little bit of love or support to change their lives.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the one more that I've had in was the WBC has shown a bit of concern for boxers who want to come out of retirement. I think was the latest article that's come from yourself. Just to go into a bit more detail with that, Mauricio.
You know, boxing is not a game. It's a very dangerous sport. We have come a long way in protecting the integrity and the health of the fighters, and protecting their integrity. When they retire, they can have a dignified life with health. And the problem is that boxers are so strong, so mentally strong, their personal ego and their will to always be on top, to always be the champion, makes them go into this depression. And when they, especially during the pandemic, we all went out and tried to do what we used to do when we were kids. And there's a large movement of fighters who want to go into the ring right now, but it's not the same to fight a real fight rather than an exhibition. It's dangerous. There's so many medicals that have to be performed, but still, even if you pass a medical, there's so many dangers of a fight when you are over 40 years old, 45, 50. I am hopeful that everyone who goes into the ring does it with absolute clearance from a boxing commission, and allows them to compete, and that they come out safe of any competition. But the reality is that boxing, you know, you have kids fighting since they are young, and then they go through the amateurs, then the professional.
Yeah.
They go through very strong, difficult fights, and then retire for such a long time, and then try to do it again. It's not the same. The body is not the same, and the danger and the risk is much higher. That's why we're concerned about it.
Yeah, so when you look at sort of the likes of Oscar De La Hoya coming back, that's a prime example, really, isn't it? And the fact that he's coming back and he's shouting for names like Canelo, Golovkin, you know, it's dangerous fights, isn't it? It's not like coming back and fighting someone who's the same age as you, or having an exhibition, or, you know, when we saw like Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., didn't we? The exhibition, you know, it was very different, wasn't it? You know,
it was different. It was a great showcase of we needed that during the pandemic, that entertainment, to see Mike Tyson move that way. But he always had the absolute understanding that it was for entertainment. He never tried to hurt Jones, nor Jones tried to hurt Tyson. It was a very nice event that we all enjoyed. But to go there and take a real fight, it's a different thing. We'll be hoping everything turns out well, and that they protect each other, and they understand what the role in their life is right now. Oscar is a great boxing promoter. He has helped so many fighters become champions. So he's been a successful promoter, and he's a legend in the sport. So whatever he does has a great repercussion in the other areas.
Yeah. No, definitely. You know, there's always a concern, isn't there, when someone comes back and they're shouting those sort of names out, when, you know, you've got lads are the same age and ability as these Canelos and stuff, and they don't even want to fight them. Do you know what I mean? It's frightening, really.
Well, I was a very good goalkeeper in football. And the other day I told my son, let's play around. I was good goalkeeper. I could fly like a great. and my mind is saying, okay, he's going to shoot. I'm going to fly and I'm going to stop the ball like I used to. My mind says so. But when the ball is coming, by the time I look, the ball was already in the net and I fly and I felt like a bag of potatoes. So it's not the same when you do something when you're 20 years old than when you do it when you're 50. So let's be very careful with what happens in the ring.
Yeah, no, definitely. And on a final note, I know you don't normally say too much in regards to this, but as a boxing fan, which I know you are very much, what is the fight you're looking forward to seeing this year?
Well, there's many fights. What is scheduled, of course, Fury Wilder has to be a tremendous third match. And any fight. Do you
think it's necessary, Mauricio? Do you think it's necessary for a third fight?
Well, they have a signed contract. And that's, as I was saying, we're not a promoter. When they fought on the second, they had a rematch, and that has been extended for such a long time. They have a signed contract for October 9. So we will see what happens. They had a draw, then Fury knocked them out in 7. We will see what happens. I think Crawford and Spence would be a sensational match that represents the welterweight division is very good. Charlo against Canelo would be a sensational match. But we will see. There's many fights out there that Chocolatito against Estrada, the third fight.
Yeah.
That's something that is close to being made. So there's great fights to be made.
No, well, Mauricio, I really appreciate your time. And as I say, keep up the good work, the charity work and the many work that you do for the WBC doesn't go unnoticed. It's incredible what you do in and out of the ring. And just love to the family. And I thank you for your time.
Joel, thank you so very much. Have a great week. And it's been my pleasure. I appreciate it very much.
No problem. You take care. I'll speak to you soon.
All the best.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Mauricio Sulaiman, there he is, the WBC president. So I chucked in the questions that came from Twitter. There we go, people. I can't do much more than that. So thank you for sending in your questions. Mauricio, thank you very much for coming on. As I say, some great fights coming up this year that he highlighted in the video. If you've enjoyed the video, head over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button on JG's Fight Talk and check out the rest of the content. And I'll see you all soon. Thank you very much.